What's going on, Moon Gang? Welcome to the day after earnings, and welcome back to another Dumb Money update for today, Tuesday, August 10th. Now, we do have quite a bit to go over, so let's hop right into it. AMC closed out the day at 31.75, and GME closed out the day at 159.05. Before we get into what's going on with AMC and GME, let's do a quick market recap just in general. Overall, the S&P 500, which is an index tracking 500 of the biggest companies in the US, did hit a new all-time high today. So it is safe to say that the stock market at large hit a new all-time high. In terms of crypto, it is very much waking up. Bitcoin looking good at 45.6 thousand, Ethereum looking good at 3,100. Doge is holding out at 26 cents. And on the other hand, Cardano, it is absolutely ripping right now. It is at $1.68. So that's kind of your quick breakdown of the market at large. I just wanted to let you know, market looking good, crypto looking pretty strong. So now let's hop into what's happening with AMC. So yesterday, Monday, August 9th, when the market closed, AMC webcast its earnings call, and there was a lot of interesting information on it. If you want to listen to that call, it's on this channel. It's me, Adam Aaron, the AMC call. It's the Q2, that's the title of it. But if you want to listen to it in its entirety, that's where you could check it out. Here, I kind of want to let you know what Wall Street's saying about it, what analysts are saying about it, and go over the key takeaways that at least I got, just so you kind of know the numbers of what's going on. So basically, after the earnings announcement, earning some credit from several skeptical Wall Street analysts, at least in the short term. Right there, I mean, in the words of Adam Aaron, they crushed it. The company reported a loss of 71 cents per share for the second quarter, which was 20 cents better than expectations, and a revenue of 445 million when there was expectations of 382 million. So to sum this up, they had a narrower than expected loss in terms of earnings per share, and they beat the revenue by about $60 million. Other than that, let me go through some of the other important numbers that aren't necessarily in this. Another important thing for this quarter, they once again have record liquidity. Last fiscal quarter, they had record liquidity around $1 billion. This time, they doubled it up. They're at $2 billion in around 1.8 in cash, and then another 200 million in revolving credit. Looking strong. We went over the earnings per share, the revenue. Yes, it was still a loss. And today, when he was doing his interview with Charles Payne on Making Money, they were saying that they're optimistic to be once again profitable by the fourth quarter of this calendar year. Overall, ticket revenue over the past 2 quarters and then the start of Q3 trending up, and so is capacity. That's true for both the US and also what we're seeing here in Europe. Moving on, yes, AMC does have debt. A little bit of it is due in 2023, but most of it is due in 2026. So right now, the debt's not the best, but they are laddering it in a way where, hey, they have over 4 years to take care of their balance sheet, and they're kind of pushing it off in a very intelligent, fiscal, responsible manner. So they do have debt. I'm not trying to shy away from that. I'm just trying to explain that not much of it's due, and none of it's due really in the short term. Attendance, Q1 to Q2 just ended. We increased by 3x. Impressive. Obviously, relative to 2019, the numbers are down, but even those are trending upward. In terms of cash burn, in Q1, they were burning $120 million a month. They've lowered that by over 30%. Now we're looking around 85 million. So that's trending in the right way. They announced that they closed 74 weak theaters over the past 18 months. And then Adam Aaron was going on about kind of 10 big announcements, and I want to go through the ones that I think really directly impact us. We know about the 2 theaters that they bought from ArcLight Pacific, the Grove and Americana. They were the 2nd and 5th best performing theaters in 2018. So those are awesome acquisitions. Beyond that, they're potentially in talks to acquire 8 more theaters. And then in 2022, they're looking to finish 12 new builds. So right there, that's over 20 new theaters that will be under AMC's flagship and obviously expand their market share. They're looking to continue with the success of their sports partnerships. We know that they showed the 2 UFC fights, so we're looking for them to expand that. And they said the attendance was great and they want to expand it. They're also doing the concert movies, Chance the Rapper, and also Halsey will be in August of this year. They did announce also by the end of this year that they'll not only be accepting Apple Pay, Google Pay, but on top of that, they're looking into crypto, and they said that they will be accepting Bitcoin for not only ticket sales, but also concession sales by the end of this year. And then other than that, a lot of the commentary was more so on, I guess, what's going on with the streaming wars and its impact on AMC being a theatrical release entertainment, company, really, for lack of a better word. And He said that actually, as of now, this is the best working relationship they've had with Universal. They've been having a lot of discussion back and forth. So that makes me optimistic. And what's even better is they've been on the phone with Warner Brothers, and starting in 2022, they've actually agreed to a deal with any Warner Brothers productions that there's going to be a 45 theatrical day release window where it's only in the theaters. And then after that, it then could go to streaming. So between Warner Brothers, Universal, and AMC, the partnerships are looking pretty good. And across the board, I mean, like I said, they beat on top and bottom lines, and the future guidance looking very, very good. And actually here, I just want to kind of wrap this part of it up with some of the comments from an analyst. Relative to our estimates, AMC reported more average open screens, higher global attendance, and higher per caps across the board. Pent-up demand is markets coupled with aggressive marketing to its patron drove moviegoers to its screens. So even there, some people who were kind of maybe neutral or bearish on AMC, a little bit of switching up their tune. Now, I do want to clarify that in my personal opinion, maybe not for you, but for me, I still don't think AMC is a fundamental play. For me, it's more of a short squeeze play. I find that there's value in the chance of a short squeeze, and that's why I'm in it. So you might be asking, well, Matt, if it's not a fundamental play, why are we going over something that's inherently fundamental? Well, it's really good to understand the person you're playing against. Many people or many of these hedge funds who are shorting AMC are doing it for fundamental reasons. So when we see updates such as this one, it weakens their thesis. So for me, it's as simple as I want to know what's going on in the mind of the person we're playing against, because I think the more we understand the very complex chess match that we're currently in, the better of the odds of our success. So that's why I'm bringing all this to your attention right now. Moving on a little bit, an interesting announcement today. Robinhood is making its first acquisition since its IPO. And what that is, it's acquiring Say Technologies for $140 million, apparently in cash. It's unclear when the deal is expected to close. So you might be like, hang on, Say Technologies, I heard about it. That's the exact company right here that we use to vote to get kind of a better indication of really what's going on with the shares, how many are counterfeit, how many are real. Shout out to Timothy B once again. This is the company. Robinhood just announced that they're buying it. Now, I do find this suspicious. I don't think that they saw how we used it and the next day they're like, oh, we're going to buy it. Deals like this do take a time. I mean, like it was $140 million. They just didn't decide that overnight. I'm sure that this deal has been in progress, but even beyond that, I find that suspicious for two reasons. First of all, why announce it today? Feels like a very weird day when I would probably argue this was the biggest uptick in usage of Say Technologies because of the Ape Nation community. And what, the day after we all use it, then they announce it. So I find the timing a bit like suspicious, but more than that, I find it suspicious of just, we know that this company works by basically verifying shares and all that. And then I just question, what type of information is Robinhood going to get? Now, I don't know. I wasn't part of the deal. I haven't read like an extensive amount. I mean, I don't know if all that information is truly public, but my main suspicion is, with Robinhood acquiring Say Technologies, I'm very curious of the data that will be theirs. Is it public information, non-public information? So that's the main thing I find to be suspicious going on really with this. In terms of Ortex, today there was, I mean, a lot of people are asking, how did AMC go red? I mean, right here. They borrowed $3 million against it. There was a net borrow of almost $1 million. It was $827,000. Short interest, 16%. So tomorrow, utilization, shares on loan, short interest, expecting them to all go up from the current morning updates. So when I tweet this out in the morning, I am fully expecting all three of these to go higher. In terms of its daily chart, right here, we had that nice gap up. And for whatever reason, obviously we could put our theories out there, but just for me, as I make these, I try to ground things in evidence of what I can. Obviously I have my own theories. I do think obviously that this price action was pretty weird, but for now, just in terms of a technical breakdown, I'm still watching this support around 32. And then we also have support all the way up to 30. So I'm watching the region between 30 and 32. If you look at any of the timeframes between 2 hour and below, you're going to see that AMC is severely oversold. So I'm just looking for a nice technical bounce up, and I want it to break above 33.50. From there, the next test 36. And then obviously from there, I've been talking about 40 to 42 for quite a while. In terms of GME, there was a net return of 700,000 shares today, which drops the short interest to 11.21%. Now, this is still a pretty high short interest. It's definitely at least double the average short interest that you see for a common stock. So even though it's dropping, I still want to point out that it's still a considerable short interest. Utilization 46%, shares on loan 7.3 million, and then the short interest today obviously dropped after that return. In terms of GME's chart, looking a little bit different. Before, we saw a lot more similarities with AMC and GME, a little bit of a deviation. Today, I'm looking forward to hold 158, break above 164, and then test and break above the key psychological and also previous support level, which might now act as resistance at 175. So overall, that's what I have for you today. Your quick breakdown of AMC, GME, a lot about AMC earnings Adam Aron said it himself. 2 words. Crushed it. That's what you need to know about AMC earnings. The price action, I don't want to get really deep into the world of theory, but right now I've expressed my thoughts that I do think supply is being legally manipulated in the sense that it's being bloated. I strongly believe that there is a numerous amount of counterfeit, fictitious, fake shares, whatever you want to call them. And my evidence for that is what we saw in the Say Technologies, questions and the responses to it. It's just when you extrapolate out in even the most conservative bimodal mathematical distribution, it's as simple as the fact that the numbers don't add up. It's truly that simple. So overall, and we also saw some weird stuff with Robinhood Say Technologies. As more information comes out from that deal, I'll obviously be happy to share it with you, but it makes me, I've been very open about this, but it makes me dislike Robinhood even more. So overall, that's what I have for you. I'd love to get your thoughts in a comment below. If you want to help me about that algorithm, you know all the good stuff to do. But other than that, from me and Chair, best of luck in the markets, and I'll catch you tomorrow.